now in Connecticut, protesters in New Haven have gathered and are still making their voices heard right in front of the police department.
Let's send it right over to Channel 3 Eyewitness News reporter Marcy Jones. Marcy, describe what you're seeing there for us.
Good morning. Well, as you can see behind me, there's about 24 or so protesters left over from what we saw overnight. First, they went from the campus to the president's home, and then they came here to the New Haven Police Department. I am here with Tacey. She's a sophomore at Yale. If you could just kind of give us an idea of what last night was like and what you saw firsthand.
Yeah, absolutely. So a bunch of students, probably guess a couple hundred. We were rallying together, starting at Beinecke Plaza, which we were occupying not too long ago, in solidarity with Rafa, in solidarity with Columbia, UCLA, and all of the other campuses that have been facing insane repression and violence over the last couple of nights. It was a rally, it was a march, you know, we were peaceful, and by the end of the night, the YPD had made 4 arrests, 2 of them in particular were violent arrests, tackled protesters to the ground, protesters who, you know, I know personally, like, wouldn't hurt a fly. So, you know, that's why we're out here. No man left behind. We show up for our people. So we're just here. I just
saw you hugging one of your fellow protesters who just got released out of custody. What was that like for you?
I mean, it's infuriating, you know, you know, she's strong as hell. I know she's going to be okay, but it is infuriating to see this kind of response from a university against its own students who are standing up against the genocide.
I have to ask you, because the university did extend an invitation to, I believe, 5 of the leaders of the protest to sit down with a couple of the trustees, and you guys voted to reject that offer. So what are you looking for in order to have that sit-down conversation?
Yeah, well, we're also not exactly looking for a sit-down conversation. Our demands from the get-go have been very clear: disclose, divest, and reinvest in the New Haven community. We're at a moment where college students across the campus, or excuse me, I've been awake for a long time. Students across the country aren't willing to take these breadcrumb deals anymore. You know, we're looking for actual change, and we're not willing to deal with this bureaucratic bullshit from the universities anymore. So we're looking for those demands to be met in a real substantive way. We want our dollars out of
I have to ask, because you said you were out here in solidarity with some of the students from Columbia. Do you condone, though, the property damage and the violence that you've seen from some of the protesters there, and some of the people that aren't even students? They're really hired protesters to kind of aggravate the situation.
The outside agitator narrative is incredibly detrimental and not something I'm willing to entertain. I will say, I mean, I stand in solidarity with all of the students who have been protesting across the country. You know, one thing we say is by any means necessary. We're here to resist colonial power. We're here to resist state violence and repression. So yeah, I unabashedly stand with every student protester.
Thank you so much for your time. I appreciate it, Tacey. Guys, back to you.